All right, what up, what up, what up? All right, in this video, real quick, we're going to talk about what you say when you're making prospecting calls. Now, I know I've shared this before. Back in the day when it was time for me to make my dials, I would hope and pray that nobody picked up. I can get all voicemails, leave all voicemails, be done with that, and I can get back out front, hanging out, waiting on the next up, and rocking and rolling that way, because I thought that's what sales was about. As the time progressed and as my skills improved, one thing I noticed is that the men and women who were really skilled on the phone, they were better able to structure their day. Their numbers were a lot more consistent, and they made a lot more money. Because when I was just running around waiting on the next up, and wasn't really focused on driving business, I was literally at the mercy of the elements. I was at the mercy of if it was a rainy day. I was at the mercy of if it was just one of those slow days. I was at the mercy of whatever else was going on. Okay, but once I realized that the more effective I was on that phone, I could structure my day better, I could better structure my month, and I could kind of quantify what type of money I could potentially make based on the number of dials, the number of appointments, i.e. equaling the number of sales. So let's talk about it when it's time to go make that phone call. Number one, when it's time for you to go make that phone call, as opposed to hoping that nobody picks up, hope somebody picks up. Because the only way you can schedule an appointment, the only way you can get somebody in there, the only way you can help somebody buy a vehicle is if it initiates with that phone call, if that's what you're doing. So the first thing is be confident and hope that somebody's gonna pick up. Number two, what do you do when somebody picks up? The big mistake that a lot of salespeople make is when they call out, they wanna try to blast out a sales pitch in the first 30 seconds. So the customer picks up and they say, ring, ring. Hello? Hey, Jack, this is Brian over at ABC Dealership, and the reason I'm calling is because I wanted to see if you were still interested in that 2020 Toyota Camry. We do have them in stock. We do have them on the showroom floor, and I wanted to know when you can get in here so you can check one out. So the customer is sitting there, the person sitting there saying, my God, I don't even remember putting this information in, or that wasn't even me. I was doing that for my brother. It could be a number of things. But guess what? In that first 30 seconds, you've just said everything you had to say. And if they say, nope, I'm okay, click, it's over, okay? Or the next time you call, they're just not gonna answer it because that phone call, they know what it's all about. So now when you make phone calls to your customers, hey, there's a way that you could train your customers that when you call, it's more so good news or it's better received. And here's why. When you make that phone call to your customer, hey, when you're asking for this person, as opposed to asking by first and last name, ask by first name. And when you introduce yourself initially, initiate by your first name, okay? And then you want to make sure that you confirm that you're speaking with the right person. After you've confirmed that you're speaking with the right person, you want to give them the reason for your call. Because while they're sitting there listening, they're waiting to hear, why did you call me? Once you gave them the reason for your call, you immediately go into the role of being a servant, in the role of servitude. Because remember, the only way to be successful is by serving other people. So you have to be a solution provider, a problem solver. You have to work to sniff those things out. And so that's what we're doing on this phone call. Now, after we've given them the reason, we've worked in a position of servitude, asking them certain questions, and let's just say they've agreed that they're going to come in. The next thing we want to do is confirm the appointment. So let me go through that with you, and I'll do a soft role play with it. So the phone, ring, ring. The customer says, hello. Hey, may I speak to Jack? This is Brian. This is Jack. Jack, Brian calling from ABC Dealership. And Jack, the reason why I'm calling is because some information was just given to me that you were looking for some additional information on the 2020 Toyota Camrys. So first off, I just want to confirm that I'm speaking to the right person. Is that you? Well, yeah, that's me. Awesome. Well, Jack, the only purpose for my call is to answer any questions that you may have and get you any information that you may feel that you want. Okay, so what questions do you have that I can answer for you, or what information would you like for me to get for you? Oh, well, Brian, I'm interested in knowing what the prices are on them. Well, that's a great question, Jack. And I have them ranging in price from 27 all the way up to 42. So in order to help us narrow it down and identify which one of those are going to work best for you, most people like to come in and put their hands on it, put their eyes on it, and get as much information on it prior to making a decision. So I have an available time this afternoon at 2 or one later on this evening at 6. Which one of those work best for you to come on in, John? Well, get off work at 4 and I could possibly be in there at 6. Awesome. And John, let me ask you, other than an unforeseen natural disaster, are you confident that you're going to be able to make our appointment at 6? Yeah, well, awesome. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and log it in. I'll shoot you a text, and other than that, I'll have everything ready for you when you get here, John. You got any other questions for me that I can answer for you? No. Great. Well, I look forward to seeing you at 6, John. Boom, and then you're off. Okay? So if you look at what we did through that call, A, we confirmed that we're speaking to the right person. B, we let them know the purpose of our call was only to be in a position of servitude and to help. Then the next thing we did, we actually asked the questions to find out what information or what questions we can answer. And the customer asked what most ask is, what is the price? And if the customer is asking for a price on a new vehicle, when you get that lead form and you see that it's on a 2020 vehicle, okay, or whatever the newest models there are, you should immediately look at your inventory and see what your base model price is, and then see what your highest end price is. And what that gives you is a range. And so you give that guest a range. I have them ranging from 27 all the way up to 42. And to help us narrow it down and find out the one that's best suited for you, just want to know when you can get in here and put some eyes on it, put your hands on it. And that's how you want to roll with that, okay? Because by giving them a range, when the worst thing a salesperson does is when a customer asks for a price on the phone and they say, oh, that's not relevant. Oh, don't worry about that. The price isn't important. It's more important finding out what you love. That's true and all. But at the end of the day, they asked you for something. And you can't steamroll and blow off what they asked you for and then expect them to do what you want them to do. And so if they ask you that question about price, that's actually one of the easiest ones to answer. You can give them a range. And let's just say if it's on a pre-owned vehicle. And they say, well, hey, listen, I'm calling in on this 2016 Ford Focus that I saw. Awesome. I want to know what your best price is. The best price, that's a good question. I want to make sure I give that to you. Now, you should do what most people do. Most people come on in, put their eyes on it, put their hands on it. I get a little bit of information from them. And then what I'll do is I'll make sure that I don't just give you a price. I do give you our best price. So I have an opening this afternoon at 2. I one this evening at 6. Which one of those work best for you? So as you can see, we still flipped it to a position of servitude, even if it's on the pre-owned vehicle. All right. So when you're making these calls, make sure that you listen to this video, go over it. And even more important to that, if you've been struggling on the phone and you've been nervous about it, if you've been finding areas in your sales process where you just seem to be missing the mark, whether it be on closing them with the numbers, whether it be on closing them on higher payment, whether it be getting them to be happy about whatever they got for their trade, whether it be you don't know what questions to ask, it might be on the presentation, it may be on the demo drive. You may just be struggling all the way around. You don't have to do that because selling is an art. It's a real science, okay? And so in this video, in the description, what I'd like for you to do right now is go down to the description box, expand it, and then there's a link. Click that link and it'll take you over to my webpage. We're available to you right now for a very limited time. Right now available is the Ultimate Online Automotive Sales Training Program. And for the last couple of months, I've done everything I can once we discounted it from $997 down to $65, and due to request of so many people, we've kept it at that as long as we can. But unfortunately, we have to go back up, and we're going to be doing that within the next day or so. And so right now, you have the opportunity. I love people coming and watching the YouTube videos, but imagine how much time you'll save if you could download the questions that you can ask, because there's over 50 word tracks that gives you the word tracks on making prospecting calls, sending emails, leaving voicemails, overcome the objections. They want to shop around. They want to think about it. They want to talk to their spouse. The price is too high. They want more for the trade. There's more than 50 that you can download and that you can use immediately. But you also get the download to How to Dominate at the Dealership Sales Training Program. And that's over 3 hours of audio and video that takes you through every step of the sales process. And not that old school process, but the one that actually turns guests into customers and customers into clients. Ones that are turning people that are 19, 20, 25 into $10,000 a month earners. You have access to it. Click the link in the description. And if you click the link in the description right now, you also get access to the digital sales training manual. You download it straight to your phone, and all of these audio and videos listen through Bluetooth on your cell phone, on your laptop, wherever. You also get the How to Drive Facebook leads, where you can learn how to drive people from your social media to your dealer page, to your cell phone looking to buy from you. Guys, the game is chess, not checkers. And as much as I love you watching the videos, imagine if you had everything right at your fingertips, what you could do with it. So treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. click that link in the description. At least go over and check it out. Because once the price goes back up, everybody's going to be asking, why didn't I keep it down as low as I did? If $65 for a $1,000 program isn't motivating enough to you to download some life-changing information, I don't know what is. So I'm Brian Maxwell. I hope to see you at the dealership. Over and out.